I lose subscribers fairly often, and it's fine with me. I lose about 100 a month out of 21,000 subscribers. Totally fine with me. No one owes me trust. No one owes me a listen. The burden is on me. If I want to get audience and keep audience, I have to supply something. And what I supply is limited. My production values are fairly low. It's a one-man shop, not very fancy. But there's a kind of subscriber that I lose that really interests me, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk to the people who leave because they're offended, because it feels inappropriate, the way I talk on this channel. Why do I talk the way I do? There's a reason I'm doing this. There's a method to my madness. Most people who talk about narcissists or psychopaths or gaslighters and all that talk from a position of authority, of neutral authority. They're making observations about the crazy people out there. And there's real satisfaction, even flattery. Between the lines, there's some flattery in that. It's like, let's us good people talk about what's wrong with bad people. Now, I do some of that. I do plenty of that. You've probably heard me say it. It goes without saying, but bears repeating. There are two kinds of people. Those who do and those who don't recognize that we're all one. And I'm both. I'm trying to understand assholes. I'm in the psychoproctology line of work. At the same time, what I'm trying to do is say, me too. We are humans. Don't be offended. I'm human, you're human. Humans have some common characteristics. And one that interests me a lot is this need for self-flattery. You've probably heard me say it before. With language, we became an extremely anxious species. There are burdens that we face as human beings that other organisms don't face. And it makes us crave reassurance. I would say the sense that we are exceptional. And so what are we going to do about that becomes the question. So far, for millennia, humans have tried to amp up humility. That is, they've tried to talk about what it takes to become a good person. And I'm doing something different here. I'm saying, me too, all of us, we are like this. I am not going to be virtue signaling at you about how it's impossible for me to become an egomaniac because egotism is beneath me. I don't want to flatter myself. I don't want to flatter you. But I do want to give you an alternative to that kind of self-flattery because you need it. We all need it. We all need a way to vent our sense that we are exceptional. I've talked about it before. I call it safe escapism. I call it off-jerking. I call it strategic gullibility. I call it optimal illusion. And today I came up with a new name for it. Because you got to have good names for these things. Idcersise. I have my id, and I need to exercise it. I need to vent my id. You need to vent your id. Your id is that part of you that wants to feel exceptional, like you should be allowed to do the things you want. You got your appetite, you got your impulses, I've got them too. I am sometimes shocked when I take a look at what I want to do or what I'm thinking I wish I could do. It's shocking, the stuff that comes to a mind. It's what Jung called the shadow. And yeah, I've got mine, and I've got to deal with that shadow. I've got to manage it. And I don't think we manage it successfully by saying, snuff it out or suppress it. We have to do something more practical than that. It doesn't go away. We don't become egoless. We don't drop our ids. It's with us lifelong. And I would argue it's with us lifelong because we are language creatures. Lots of animals are predators and parasites, but only humans can do this kind of self-aggrandizing. And we need to because we are human, because we are facing so many anxious possibilities that other organisms can't imagine. So what does it mean to idcercise? I have a simple way to talk about it. It's a difference between belief and relief. I believe in scientific progress. I relieve through any number of popular forms of idcercise. So what am I talking about there? I'm basically talking about how do I exercise safely my appetite to feel exceptional? And there are lots of ways. and you're relying on them. Some of them are high status and some of them are low status. And I want to join them all together. I want to actually demote the high status ones to an elevated level at which I hold them all. So Idcersise includes all sorts of activities. Many of them are vicarious ways to play hero, to feel like a saint or like a genius or like a strongman. And I could describe mine, and I will, but I want to suggest that they all have this wonderful quality of calming us down, letting us live out our id impulses vicariously. That is through experiencing others live out their impulses. So just to list a few, because there are many. For example, if you like boxing, if you're someone who loves boxing and you love to see someone pummeled, that's a form of Idcersise. That is, you get to feel like, yeah, that's what I would do. If you watch movies, watch TV, love violent video games, any of that stuff, that's also Idcersise. It's a great way to get out, basically get your yayas out, drain the lizard, that appetite within you that has that aspiration to be seen as exceptional, to give yourself reassurance. It's like a mojo pit stop. Here's another one, religion. Set aside whatever art or education there can be in something like religion. I think that fundamentally it is yet another form of what I'll call egotainment. I think entertainment is ultimately, if you strip away the art and the education you might get, like the wisdom you might get from it, it is egotainment, and it's a human necessity. We have these ids, we need to discharge them, we can't discharge them in public, so we go someplace private and give ourselves a mojo pit stop boost. I think humans need that. I think the trouble comes when we start to take it to heart, as if it actually proves that we're exceptional. Wanting to feel exceptional is totally unexceptional for humans. We all want to feel exceptional. Even, and maybe even especially those people who say exceptionalism is beneath me, I can't find a place in myself where I want to feel exceptional. I'm too humble for that. I'm exceptionally humble that way. I want to suggest that we all have that appetite. We play it out different ways. You may want to watch rom-coms where you imagine yourself as the beautiful, wise, smart, good woman who wins the handsome, smart, wise guy. All of that's great. We need to do it somewhere, and that's a safe place to do it. I would say masturbation fits in this category as well. And that may be too touchy, may offend you that I would say that, but that's another form of draining the lizard. It's another vicarious experience of feeling like you're a hottie, like you're a stud muffin. And once again, to me, all of this Idcersise, all of this egotainment is really valuable. I would even say it's our patriotic duty to do it, because it's so much better than doing it in public. So much better than feeling exceptional, going around acting exceptional, acting like you're some kind of superhero, the way the Trumpists do. My main line to them is self-love is important. Self-affirmation is important. But get a room. Don't let it go to your head. And don't turn basic infrastructure into your circle jerk vanity project. Do it offline. You are doing a civic duty when you watch a boxing match and go, hell yeah, when the guy boxes and beats someone up. You are doing a public service when you go to a punk rock or death metal concert and feel like a badass. And like everybody in the room are the good, right, smart, strong people. That's a public service. So, just coming full circle here. Me too. You too, if you dare to look at it. You got your id, you've got your impulses, you got your appetite. You cannot play them out in reality safely. You may be able to pull it off. If you're Donald Trump, you're nothing but id, pretending that basically you've solved reality your way. You can, at high levels, when you got enough money and all of that, but it's not good for society. It doesn't last. Religions after religions, they all have been doing this. For years, they've been giving people a chance to play out their delusions of grandeur. And it can be wonderful for you. But not when it goes to your head and you come away thinking your religion, among the 12,000 religions in the world, and within Christianity alone, 45,000 different sects, the sense that yours is somehow the one that elevates you above others, fuck off. That ain't how it works. Instead, just enjoy it. Go to movies and pretend you're heroic enough that you would do what the heroes do, or badass enough that you do what you would do for sure what the badasses do. That's the vicarious pleasure. That's what we need. We need to stop trying to get people to be virtuous like us. We need to relax into admitting that we are human, that we all have this mixture of impulses and restraints, limitations on what we can do, and then go vent them. Off jerking. Go off and be a jerk. Pretend you're exceptional in some place safe. So what I'm actually saying, a great way for me to lose some more subscribers, is that I want to take an elevated form like religion and demote it. Demote it. It's not exceptional. That you go to church is not actually a better way to play out your need to feel exceptional than watching a movie or reading fiction or playing video games and pummeling the opponents. They are the same. Or masturbating. I want to demote the highfalutin ones to an elevated level at which I hold all forms of Idcersise, all the ways that we could safely exercise our id impulses. That's my request. That's my plea to an exceptionalist nation. That's my plea to my Christian friends. That's my plea to my liberal friends. That's my plea to the Trumpists. Self-love is important, but get a room. Don't let it go to your head. Idcersise. Engage in the id exercising you need to do, because life is really hard. Life is fundamentally disappointing. You don't get to play out all your id impulses in reality. Kind of sad. But also manageable. Question is, how do you manage your id while idcercising it? That's my request.